What's up, Preston Outdoors fans? Welcome back to another Friday video here. This is going to be another vlog style video again. Excuse me if you can't hear me too well because of the wind. It's pretty windy out here and it's pretty chilly compared to the last few weeks or whatever. But we're going to continue on again with this Friday video. It's kind of be somewhat like what last week's video was on the Friday, was where Abby and I were laying out, had a training session in the horse pasture, shooting some pigeon stuff. We're going to continue on with that because I got a lot of questions, and I've fielded a lot of questions in the past about questions with dog training and stuff like that. And you know, even though it's March, a lot of the times, you know, this is considered the off season for the hunting season and stuff like that, and people don't really work with their dogs as much. You know, beginning of the year, summer, a lot of people work with them, but I try and at least work with them a few times even during the spring and stuff like that. So I've been fielding a lot of questions about how to train a dog. Do you send your dogs off to training and stuff like that? And so today I'm going to pull out 2 or 3 of the dogs. We're going to do some drills, just some simple drills with it. And if I get more questions and stuff about the dog training and stuff like that, I'll do more videos a little more in depth. So right now we kind of got a spot picked out that's out of the wind. I just do it right in the yard here for the simple training sessions and stuff. But we're gonna get some of the stuff hooked up, or not hooked up. We're gonna grab Abbie's kennel and a couple of my other GoPros so we can get some other shots. And we're gonna go out there and we're gonna toss the dummy around a little bit and kind of explain how I go about doing this. So like I said, we're going to be pulling out some of the dogs. This week we're just going to be pulling out Abbie, our black lab, and I'm going to be showing you kind of how some of the things I do on a normal training day, a real quick preview on a normal training day for a waterfowl hunting dog. Next week we'll pull out Ziva, who's a pointer, pheasant hunter, and we will go over kind of the basics I do on a training session for her. We got the waterfowl blind, field blind anyway, set up, and I'm going to go into a little bit of a history, not really history, but kind of the backstory of myself and how I kind of got into dog training for myself and the dogs we've always had. Growing up from a young age, we used to hunt pheasants. We still do hunt pheasants a lot, but we used to hunt pheasants with Springer Spaniels. They're Flushing breed, smaller upland game breed, and that's what we hunted. I grew up hunting and training, and it wasn't until, I don't even know the year, but when I was about 10, 11 years old, we had decided not to get any more Springer Spaniels. We decided to get a pointing breed. We had watched people use pointers in the field and stuff at some dog trials and thought, man, it'd really be cool to get a dog that can point and you know work your way up to it, just something different. So we got 2 German short hair pointers, and I was 10 or 11, like I said before that, and we started working with them, and that's when I ended up getting Sadie. You know, if you guys have watched any of my pheasant hunting videos, Sadie's been my dog since I was 11 years old. Man, that wind. Move it over here. There we go. Like I said, Sadie's been my dog since I was 11 years old. I started training her at the age of 11 with guidance and help from my grandfather and my dad, just for some basic stuff like that. And then it kind of evolved into me finding out how I wanted the dog to hunt for myself. And then going on from that, last fall, or starting last summer to last fall, was the first time, like I said, when we got Abbie, that I've trained, kind of went on beyond a pheasant hunting dog and went to a waterfowl dog. And it's been an easy transition. I just had to do a little more research and figured out what I wanted a dog to do for me in the field. And so that's kind of my background to it. I have experience hunting dog trials and training dogs and giving people advice. Alright, so like I said, you can do this any way you want, but the way I start off all of our training sessions is, wherever we're heading out to, she gets the shock collar on because she's going to have the shock collar on the field. Abbie, come. Come. Sit. Sit. Stay. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to put the collar on her. You stay. I put the leash on her because I want her to heel to wherever we're going. Anytime I'm, no, sit. Anytime I'm leaving a field, pheasant hunting, duck hunting, anything like that, I want to have her, if there's a road around, I want to have her on the leash. Stay. I want to have her on the leash because I've heard of people and I've talked to people where their dogs run out into the road and get hit by dogs, and that's not what I want. And for her to heel is really, really good for her. So sit, sit. So what I'm going to do, okay. Now all we're going to do is we're going to heel to anywhere we go. Now this, like I said, I'm not going to go into any detail, strict detail on really working her to heel. I'm just telling you how I get off into the field, or our training sessions for this thing. So I'm going to heel her all the way out there, and then today we're going to be working with her inside her blind, and all I tell her is to kennel. It's a kennel command, and when she recognizes the blind, she knows she's got to go in there and sit and wait and be patient. So we're going to go over and do that now. Said with Abbie, we're going to be doing a lot of work, field work, hunting out of this blind. In the water, we'll have a stand for her to sit on, but right now she doesn't have much experience hunting out of the blind, so we're going to get her working in and out of the blind. And a lot of times we're going to be using a dummy, we call it, or a bumper. This one doesn't have a rope on it, but she knows, you know, what this is. This is going to be her bird. Kennel. Kennel. As you can tell here, she's laying down. This is what she's supposed to be doing. She will not release, her release word is taken. She will not release from the kennel until I say that. Take it. That's her command to fetch it up. Good girl, fetch it up, come. Come. Hand. 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 Drop. Kennel. There we go. Now that's just a simple command. Now we're not having any gun shooting or anything. That's simple. She knows how to do this. It's something I do every day with her. Even if we're not training, I always start off with her in her kennel so she knows she's comfortable. Let her sit in there, because there's going to be times where the birds aren't going to be flying and she's just going to have to sit there and be comfortable. Now that's something else we do. I'll go into something else. Again, she's still sitting in her kennel here, but another concept that you might need for any hunting dog. Okay, Abbie. Okay. Sit. Now I always put my hand out here to give her the command to sit. Now this is another command that you really want to work with any of your dogs. I mean, hunting dogs or non-hunting dogs, because there's going to be a time where they need to sit, pay attention. A lot of times if we have cars come into the yard or cars drive by, especially like if my mom comes home from work or something, all the dogs are in the yard, so they're not running around in front of the cars. You throw up your hand, all of them are sitting, even if their dogs aren't hunting dogs. So that's something we use. And with her, sit, stay. She's not going to move until I say, take it. There you go. Fetch it up. Good girl, come. Hand. Hand. Good. Good. Drop it. Drop it. Get it. Drop it. Drop it. Dip, dip. Fetch it. Now her reward for doing a good job is that she gets I call this a free retrieve. She has no responsibility, no sitting down. All she has to do is bring it back to me. Hand. 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 Good girl. Drop. Sit. Sit. Now we always use a command is called dead bird. When the bird is down, has been shot, and can be flopping around. That's why I take the dummy, run it all over the place, because it can be a bird that is wounded that they got to get used to, that it's going to be kicking and stuff in their face. And that's another tip that I use for her. And these are really simple and I'm really brief, but the kenneling, the sitting, come, and I say hand because I want her to put the bird right in my hand. I don't want to have to really walk to her to get it. Or if I'm in the blind hunting in the field, shoot a bird, she's released, I don't want to have to all the time get out of the blind to get the bird. She brings it to me, I put her in her hand and stuff like that. So that's kind of the really basics for waterfall dog. You know, if you, like I said, if you have any questions, leave them below. But just the basics for her. As you can see, she's still sitting there like she's supposed to. But these are just the real basics for me, and I'm not even going in depth with a gun or anything like that, or shooting out of a blind or anything. This is just something that I have really had to learn on my own, do a lot of research with, because like I said, I didn't know nothing about hunting with a waterfall dog and sit. And so she loves these drills, and that's another thing. Like I said, when a dog gets bored, I mentioned this before, when a dog gets bored, quit. End on a positive note, and then stop, because like I said, I pulled out this kennel out of the house, I grabbed this dummy, she's excited, she's ready to go to work, and that's what you want. A lot of the training sessions that I have are just your classic fetch. You know, fetch is a huge game to play because, you know, they are retrievers. Their job for me when I'm hunting is to find me the bird and bring it to me. That's their job. And like I said, we played fetch here multiple times, but I changed it up differently. So we'll be in the kennel today, starting off. Tomorrow we'll start off in the kennel, but we might be out here in the lawn later, a few throws in, and I'll be directing her with my hands. That's a little bit more in-depth thing that she still struggles with, but we gotta bring it back every day. So fetch is another key component that I didn't mention before that you need to really work with them. And I want to thank you guys for watching. This is another good vlog. Like I said, we just kind of touched some of the real basics here. If you're still interested and want some more of these videos, I'll go more in depth and kind of maybe even videotape a whole training session that Abbie and I do, or that Ziva and I do, to slightly work with them. And don't take me for don't think that I'm a professional dog trainer, which I'm not. I train my dogs the way I would like them to hunt, and each person's different. If you found anything informational in this video, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and who knows, maybe if you guys are interested in more of these, we'll do another dog training video with Abbie a little bit more in depth. I want to thank you guys for watching Preston Outdoors.